So the items I use for this work are my scale, the egg whisk, 10% developer, and 3 boxes of my Somma dye. Then I also use the bowl and my nylon gloves, right? So at some point, I changed my bowl actually to a bigger one, and that's because of the quantity of the product I want to use. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using a scale, I like to use it just for more accurate results, especially when I'm working with a larger product or maybe like I'm working with a longer hair, right? I like to use a scale. But I mean, if you don't have a scale, it's not compulsory, right? You can actually just eyeball it if you know that that would be best for you, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Brian King. So today I'm going to be showing you how I colored my hair, this chestnut colored hair, from this to a natural color, not jet black, to a natural color without using the regular adult dye or the regular watercolor method that everybody knows. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. So I'll be using just 3 bottles or 3 tubes of color. I'm used to using this particular product, whereas I'll be using 3 tubes, right? So I can use, it all depends on what you want to do. Ideally, for a 22 inches hair like mine, you're supposed to use 4 tubes comfortably, but I was trying to manage this product because I had other works to do and I wasn't able to find this color, right? So that's why I used 3 tubes, right? So I don't know if you've seen some black hairs that after coloring, with time it has one uglyish greenish look like that, right? That's but because it wasn't correctly colored. So there's something called a color wheel. Colorists in the house would definitely know what I'm talking about. It's a color wheel. It tells you what color you removed from a color black hair when you're bleaching. So when you lift hair, usually from black used when you lift a hair from black using bleach, of course, there are some hidden colors that are removed. In this case, red was removed. Like I said, you need a color wheel for that. So I'm using a dark brown dye with a touch of red. Hence the reason you saw that I used something called 445. That's the color description on it. So this dye description says that every gram of dye you use, you have to use equal volume of developer, right? So no matter what you see on the scale, if you see 10 grams of dye, that means I have to use equally 10 grams of developer. So that means on your scale, you should see 20 grams, right? So I am putting equal volumes of dye and the developer. So just keep watching. So now it's time for coloring. Now, before you start adding color to your hair, make sure you comb and detangle the hair very well. I mean, before using the product on your hair, because the idea is for you to work smarter, not harder. If you apply your products directly in the hair when it is tangled or matted, you would have yourself to blame because it's going to make work really slow for you, right? So just make sure you comb and detangle like I said and start. Now, if you notice this wig, it has 2 different shades of brown. The front to the middle is actually a lighter shade of brown, and the middle to the back is a darker shade of brown. So I just had to divide it first just so I know what I'm going to do. So because the front is lighter than the back, I'm going to start adding my product in the front first, so that way it can be processing and it will also reduce the process time for me, right? So just keep watching. However, the application technique is section first, apply product, then brush well, then saturate the product on the sectioned part while you're working, and then repeat the process before you go to the next section, right? So just keep watching. So it's now time to color the back. Now, if I was using the watercolor method, that would have been easier because all I just need to do is protect the wig and then just dip it into the mixture and it's good to go. However, because I'm using a semi-color method and I'm doing it line by line or in little sections, I have to be very careful. So now the technique is I'm working in big sections first while applying the first time, but as I'm running the product into the hair, I start to work in smaller sections so that every strand will be touched by the product and every corner of the wig will also be touched by the product. So now while I'm applying, I am opening and trying to scatter the hair also. I don't know if that makes sense. That is just like I said, so that the product will enter the hair very well. So just keep looking at it and just keep watching. Enjoy. I don't know if it's because of the price of product, but I make sure I scrape off every single product in the bowl once I've finished, applying my color. So the next, I left the hair for 45 minutes before rinsing it out. Now, Aduke also took a bath. Fun story. My mannequins have a name. So this one's name is Aduke. She's literally my day one. So now you have to make sure you thoroughly rinse the dye out first before intensely washing, the hair with shampoo. And that's because, you don't want a situation whereby you finish coloring hair and maybe after you finish styling it is staining your clothes, right? So make sure you intensely wash the hair, rinse the dye out of the hair first before using the shampoo. Don't be miserly with your shampoo. Don't be stingy with the shampoo. Make sure you use it very well because, you need to get every single dye out of the hair. Now, I use this mixtures on my hairs. This helps to add moisture and revive the texture of the hair, especially because dyes, bleaching or chemicals in general literally dry off the hair, right? And we don't want the hair to be looking crusty and ugly. So that's why I like to apply treatment to the hair. So I left that for 24 hours, let it air dry, and now it's time for styling. So you can see I'm scattering the hair here just for you to see that the dye touched every strand of the hair from root to tip, right? And the color aim was natural color black. I don't know, there's a difference between natural color black and not jet black. Natural color black is almost like transitioning almost to very light brown, right? So that's what I was trying to achieve, and that's what I got. If you also notice, there's a tinge of dark red in this hair, right? That's also my color aim. Now, if you want yours to be purely natural color black or jet black, as the case may be, it all depends on your mixture. So if you want it to be purely natural color black, during your hair mixture, you have to use equal volume of 3/0 and 4/45. You have to go back to the beginning of the video actually for you to understand what I'm talking about. That way you can go and check the labeling on the product or the dye, right? So I also wanted a very light curls, or I wanted very light curls, more like body wave on this hair. So I used my hot comb to achieve that. Now, while I'm styling, I usually am particular about putting too much product on my hairs. I don't like putting too much product when styling because it's almost like you're dirtying the hair all over again, in my opinion. So yeah, just keep watching. If you've gotten to this part of the video, guys, please kindly subscribe, like, and turn up your notification bell just so you know when I upload my videos next. So after curling, I let the hair sit for about 30 minutes before I started unraveling the curls, just so that the heat would be able to hold the curls well for me. And now, like I said, I'm unraveling the curls. So this is the final result. I sprayed a little holding spray on my comb when it was time to comb out the curls out, just to fluff out the curls a little bit, and this is what I have. Now, I enjoyed every bit of this transformation. I hope you did too. I also hope you were able to learn something from this video. Please drop a comment telling me what you'd like me to teach you next, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next one, guys. Bye!